Check out woozymood.com for anything and everything collectibles.
Hello, people. I'm gonna just jump straight into this because I've watched other people's top 10 videos and they didn't start the video for a couple minutes in and it was very annoying. So, we had a lot of good movies this year and I'm just gonna start, as everybody else says, from 10, then go to 1. Obviously, this is my top 10 movies of 2017, but again, I'm going to be mentioning some honorable mentions, what I'd like to see, and what I'm excited for in 2018. So, at number 10, and this is kind of a shocker for a lot of people, and I may get some hate for this, but I was not the biggest fan of Thor Ragnarok. It sits at number 10. I'm kind of marveled out, I'll be honest with you, and although I was excited to see Thor Ragnarok, and I am a bit of a fan of the director, I really love what he did with What We Do in the Shadows, and a friend of mine showed me that. Nick, if you're watching this, thank you for showing me that movie, because it was cool. I really enjoyed it, and although I didn't watch his other stuff, I've heard good things, and so I was excited for this. I mean, the first Marvel comedy-ish besides Deadpool, that was going to be cool, and it just didn't do it for me. It suffered from the same things, a weak villain, and obviously there are going to be spoilers in this video, so, you know, just heads up. And they did the same thing as everything else. They killed the villain again. Come on. Come on. Why do you keep doing this? So, and although the humor was really awesome, I'm just so sick of the whole teaming up thing. It's like superheroes cannot have their own solo movie. Thor can't have his own movie. Hulk has to be in it. Why do, you know, even though it's cool to see Planet Hulk, that storyline play out a little bit, it's like I just want a Thor movie, kind of like the first one. And which brings me into slot number 9. And again, shocker to everybody, because this is probably everyone's one of their number one, or, you know, their top 3, which is Spider-Man Homecoming. Okay, I'm not the biggest fan of Tom Holland's Spider-Man, but I can look past that. It's a Spider-Man movie, and the villain was flippin' awesome, Michael Keaton, and they didn't kill him off? Thank you! Yes, that was flipping awesome. So, it was a good movie, okay, but again, it suffers from that thing where Marvel has to tie it together with the universe. It has to be connected to Civil War. It has to be connected to Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man. And I just don't find that necessary. If Iron Man, and I love Iron Man, you guys know it, I'm an Iron Man collector. I'm obsessed with him. But that's why Iron Man 1 was so good. That's why Cap 1 and Thor 1 were so good. Because they don't need this support. And Spider-Man doesn't need that kind of support. I mean, I feel like he's being babysitted by Iron Man. I mean, he, you know, in most of the comics, Spider-Man makes his own stuff. He makes his own suit, which is why that homemade suit is so cool, because it's his own, right? His web shooters are his own, okay? So, that's why it sits at number 9, and don't get me wrong, it's a cool movie. It's a lot of fun. It's very different from the other Marvel movies, which I really appreciated, but, you know, some things just didn't work for me. But overall, awesome movie. I enjoyed it. Number 8, and again, shocker, Justice League. I like Justice League. I don't know why everyone's hating on it. Yeah, I mean, it was very short, okay, and very high-paced. I understand that. And the whole CGI with, you know, Henry Cavill's jaw, mustache, whatever, that was a little awkward, but I thought it was a fun movie. It didn't take itself seriously, guys, okay? It's not Batman v Superman where, you know, everything's so great. It's your typical superhero movie where the Earth is threatened and a bunch of heroes need to get together and kick the guy's ass. Okay, and although Steppenwolf was a really stupid villain, whatever. It was so cool to see all these characters on the big screen, and I know the movie's getting a lot of hate, but I personally enjoyed it, and, you know, I didn't go in with big expectations. I actually went in thinking this is gonna suck. You know, it sucks, but it's gonna suck. But I actually enjoyed it. Thought it was a lot of fun. Now, my number 7 slot was Power Rangers, oddly enough. And I'm not a fan of the designs. I'm not a fan of Goldar or Rita Repulsa, but I grew up with Power Rangers, you know, so it's kind of it's kind of nice to see him on the big screen. A lot of nods to the original 90s stuff, even to the early 2000s stuff, which still was pretty good. So I just thought it was a really entertaining movie. And it's weird because it felt like more of a movie than these other Marvel movies, right? I mean, you didn't see them become Power Rangers until the last 30 minutes of the movie, which I liked. You know, because the director, the writers actually spent time making a movie, like an actual film with dialogue in the first hour, which is good. So I thought it was fun. I thought it was going to be a lot worse, but I was pleasantly surprised. So there you go. Spider-Man was Power Rangers was number 7. At number 6, Kong Skull Island. Really fun movie. I absolutely love this film. It's part of the whole MonsterVerse thing, and I love that. It's very different than the Peter Jackson one, okay, which was pretty good. You know, the one with Jack Black and whoever the hell else was in there. I honestly forgot. I think it was... Damn it. The guy with the, you know, big nose. Predators. Y'all know who I'm talking about. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Kong Skull Island. It was awesome. I especially love the spider scene. And if you guys watched it, you know what I'm talking about. And Samuel L. Jackson, come on, right? You gotta love him. John Goodman, you gotta love him. And he did scream in this movie, which was wonderful. So, and again, it's one of those things where it doesn't take itself seriously. It's just about having fun, which is what I enjoyed. So, there you go. And I thought it was better than the 2014 reboot of Godzilla. There you go with that. At number 5, again, shocker, Alien Covenant. Got so much shit. I actually love this movie. It was a hell of a lot better than Prometheus, in my opinion. And it felt like an alien movie. It just felt like an alien movie. There were a lot of xenomorphs. There were a lot of those neomorphs, which are fairly similar to xenomorphs. And in the first movie, I thought David was the stupidest character they could come up with. But in this movie, he was brilliant. I absolutely loved them. So it felt like Alien. It felt like a Ridley Scott movie. You know, like one of his originals. It's creepy. It's scary. And, you know, although the main protagonist, I can't even remember her name. I should tell you something about the main protagonist. She was okay. You know, I probably liked her better than Elizabeth Shaw from the first film, Prometheus. But, you know, obviously not a Sigourney Weaver. We all know that, guys. We can't get that back unless Neil Blomkamp, or Blomkamp, whatever his name is, does Alien 5. And with Alien Awakening, the sequel to this, in danger, we might see that Sigourney Weaver one. We don't know. So, Alien Covenant at number 5. And number 4, War for the Planet of the Apes. Hell of a movie. Really closed the trilogy really well. I thought it was better than Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. And I like Dawn. It was okay. But I think if, you know, I liked Rise better. Okay, and we're not comparing this to the originals. Nothing can compare to them. But this would be a lot higher if, I don't know, they, I guess, sealed it up a little bit better. I know I said there were going to be spoilers, but I really think you should see this movie and see the ending for yourself. I thought it was rushed a bit, the way they did something to a certain character. So, but overall, really well executed. And Andy Serkis is a god. He is Snoke, too. Number 3, Split. Amazing movie. Shyamalan has done how many shitty movies in the last 10 years? And then suddenly he brings this masterpiece to the theaters. And, again, I don't want to spoil the ending because it's too good. Okay, but go watch this movie. James McAvoy does a wonderful job. Definitely talented. Didn't expect that. Only know him as Professor X. And, damn, he's really good. Really, really good. Number 2, Blade Runner 2049. I went into this movie thinking, god damn, like, the trailers do not look good, and they're just going to flood this movie with Harrison Ford as a promo, you know, but if it wasn't for my number 1 best film of the year, this is an actual film, okay, an actual film, okay, nothing, there's no, you know, explosions, which is what you see from most movies these days. This is a serious movie with an actual storyline, with a lot of dialogue. You get attached to these characters, there's actual character development, and I thought it was fucking brilliant. It was amazing. If you haven't seen Blade Runner, the ending is going to blow your mind. The twist. It's ridiculously good. And again, if it wasn't for my number one, this would blow everything out of the water. Honestly, this is one of the best films of the last 10 years. At least. Definitely. So, I haven't been this excited about a movie in how many years, so. And again, I went in with zero expectations, and I came out thinking, Jesus Christ, this is a fucking masterpiece, and it's getting so much shit, and I can't understand. It sucks. So, there you go, and it definitely deserves an Oscar. Which brings me to number one. And you guys know my number one, okay? And I know I've watched so many other top 10 movies from other YouTubers, and some of it's Spider-Man, some of it's Wonder Woman, some of it's Thor, and those were kind of the front runners. And then there's Logan, which, of course, come on, y'all know. Y'all know it's my number one. It's part of that whole Blade Runner execution where it's an actual movie, right? They don't concern themselves with explosions. They don't concern themselves with connecting it to a universe. And sure, in the movie they make references to the original X-Men, but I always thought of the X-Men universe, if you will, as very classy. It's not forcing connection to other movies, like Marvel or DC. For example, in Wonder Woman, in the beginning, of course, they have to tie it to Bruce Wayne. They got to tie it to Justice League, or Batman v Superman, to let the audience know that, oh, well, this is part of the DCEU. No shit, it's part of the DCEU. You don't need to tell us that. But Logan's very subtle with that. And again, I'm not spoiling anything about this movie. If you haven't watched Logan, stop this video. Don't even comment. Don't like it. I don't care. Go watch Logan. Go. And then go watch Blade Runner. And then you'll be happy. You'll be very, very happy. Guaranteed. So, there's my top 10. I'm going to get into some honorable mentions now. Stuff that didn't make my top 10. One of those of which was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I hate Baby Groot. I just want to let you guys know that. I hate him with all my heart. But, besides that, Kurt Russell was a cool ego. He was an awesome villain, but of course, spoilers. Get out now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It suffers from the same thing as other Marvel movies. They killed Ego! They could have saved him for Infinity War, or whatever they want to save him for, but come on. You gonna scrap Kurt Russell like that? He's probably, the highlight of that movie. I'd rather see a movie with Kurt Russell than Chris Pratt, so save him. Again, the thing with Michael Keaton from Spider-Man. They didn't kill him. Cool. We get to see him again, because he's Michael Keaton. Awesome. So, it had a lot of fun jokes. I think what killed this movie for me a lot is social media, and I know that's not a valid excuse, but I've just seen so much of the Baby Groots and of the I'm Mary Poppins deal, and, the Mary Poppins thing, it was very, very funny in the theater, seeing it for the first time, and then you see it everywhere, and you're like, oh my god, just stop already. It's too much. You don't want to dilute it, oversaturate it. Then, another honorable mention is Star Wars The Last Jedi. It's not that I didn't like the movie, I just didn't think it was as good as The Force Awakens or Rogue One. It was a lot of fun, it was very entertaining, it was cool to see Old Man Luke, and I, for one, liked the storyline. It was a lot of fun. I didn't agree with some choices they chose with Snoke, and this is a very sensitive movie, so I'm not going to spoil anything, so I think they could have done a lot more. I think they could have really spiced the story up a bit, But overall, a fun movie. Just didn't make my top 10. I enjoyed other movies more. That's just it. But still, go see it. It's a lot of fun. And then, Wonder Woman. Here we go. People are calling this the Iron Man of the DCEU. I disagree. It's not that I don't like the movie. It's a good movie. I just don't think it's great. And I think it all stems back to Gal Gadot, or however you may pronounce her name. And don't leave comments saying, oh, you just don't like women in lead roles. No, that's not true at all. Kathy Bates in Misery, Sigourney Weaver in Alien, Those are wonderful actresses. Okay, Jodie Foster, another wonderful actress. Remember Silence of the Lambs? No, I disagree. I don't think Gal Gadot can carry the movie. I don't... And again, I'm going to sound like a dick right now. Like your typical douchebag who's hating on movies, but I don't think she's a good actress. You know, and again, I sound like a dick. I get it, but... And again, spoilers for, you know, the end of the movie, but when she walks up to air, she's like, no, but I believe in love. Oh my God. Come on. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, God. And before she walks onto that battlefield, she looks at Steve Trevor, she's like, no, but that is what I'm going to do. Doesn't resonate with me. It doesn't work, and she looks like Wonder Woman. She's gorgeous. She looks like her, and I know a lot of people are complaining she's not the correct height, she's not buff, but I think she looks like her, definitely. But the way she plays her out, it's a little too corny for me. And again, I sound like a dick, but the movie itself, it was good. A little slow at first for me, just because the whole section where she arrives and wherever she arrived in the city, and she's trying on clothes, and it just didn't, you know, it didn't work for me. The end of the movie, the final sequence was great. I loved Ares. I thought he was a great villain. I love the twist, too. Very strong twist. So, there you go with that. Now, movies I would like to see from this year, from 2017, or last year, rather. Number one was It, the remake. I want to watch it. I've heard amazing things. I just haven't found the time, but definitely want to see it. Looks great. The other one, which I've heard a lot about, is Get Out. God, I've heard so much about this film from so many different people, and I really want to see it. It looks weird. That's kind of why I want to see it, so there you go. Number 3 was Jigsaw. I'm a big fan of the Saw series, so I kind of want to see it in... Well, I can't see it in theaters anymore, but I want to see how it all, sandwiches together. Leatherface, I've heard terrible things, but, horror fan, so I gotta watch it. Netflix's Bright, I've heard mixed things on it. It looks interesting. I like Will Smith, he's badass, so I'll go see that. The Shape of Water looks very interesting. I just saw the trailer recently. My brother showed it to me, and it actually looks really interesting. I'm curious if it's an actual prequel to Hellboy about, Abe Sapien, but I don't know. Looks unique, and I'm a big fan of Guillermo del Toro. So, number 7, Dunkirk. Christopher Nolan, right? We all love him. I'm not a big fan of the period piece movies, or these kind of reenactments of major things in U.S. history, but I've heard great things, so I'll go ahead and give it a shot. This one's kind of a weird one, but Downsizing. Every time I see the trailer, I want to watch it. It looks cool. It looks unique. And if you guys don't know what it is, it's this fictional story where, in reality, downsizing means literally that. You shrink down to the size of, tiny, and you live in this miniature city where everything's, cleaner, cheaper, better lifestyle, richer, stuff like that. And if you're normal size, you're considered poor, I guess. I don't know. But looks very interesting, so I want to see that. Number 9, The Disaster Artist. One of those, I'm a fan of James Franco and Seth Rogen. You gotta love them, but this, I have to watch The Room first, and, time, right? So, I want to watch that, and lastly is Jackie Chan's The Foreigner. Looks very interesting, and when's the last time you saw Jackie Chan in any movie, ever? So, in the last 10 years, so really want to watch that. Looks awesome. Now, what I'm excited for in 2018, this is kind of like my top 6-ish. Number 1, The Predator. God, I want to see that so bad. They just released a poster, and I want to see it so freaking bad. There's not even a teaser for it, teaser trailer for it, so really want to see that. Number 2 is Venom. God damn, Woody Harrelson's in it? Hell yeah. Tom Hardy? Okay, I really want to see that. I actually had a dream the other day that I watched the trailer for it, and I was very excited. I have very cartoony dreams. Number 3, X-Men Dark Phoenix. I'm a big X-Men guy now, so naturally, I just want to see that. And same with the last few, which is Deadpool 2. I want to see it. And New Mutants, which looks very interesting to me. Because I love what Fox is doing. They're trying new things. You know, they're not afraid. They did their comedy. They did their drama, Western drama. And now they're doing their horror. Cool. And last but not least, Infinity War. Everybody wants to see that, including me, right? Who doesn't want to see Infinity War? So, and these weren't ranked or anything. Just put them down. The thing I want to see the most is the Predator, though. So, there you go. That is my top 10 movies of 2017 and what I like to see in 2018. So, hopefully we'll have a good year with movies. I'm hoping it'll be just as good as this year, but someone's telling me this year, or 2017, had some better movies than what we're going to see in 2018. But some may disagree because of Infinity War and Black Panther, which I didn't mention because, I don't know, the trailers aren't doing it for me at the moment. I'm definitely going to see it. It looks cool. But, I just don't want them to kill. I don't want them to kill Killmonger and do the same thing over again. So, but hey, I like Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther. He's really awesome. So, I'll have to wait and see. And I think that's it. Yeah, expect a lot more of these top 10 things that are going to run just as long as this. This is already at like 21 minutes, about 21 minutes, so there you go. As usual, go check out the Sanctuary on our group page, Facebook group page, and our YouTube channel, and check out the content creators of the Sanctuary, all of which are listed down below in the description. And with that said, people, if you did enjoy this video, please like, subscribe, comment, check out my site at SunSpotReviewz.com, and I'll see you guys in the next video.